for me. He is just impossible to entertain without. What is up? This is such a weird time to meet. I've never done a daytime Zoom, so I'm like really thrown off by that. And I was just telling the girls, I haven't worked Zoom like this and been a host of something in a very long time, let alone using my Mac computer. I've been using my work computer, which is not Mac, so bear with me. I'm just trying to figure this out. Oh shit, see, here I go already. Can you guys, let's see, present. Okay, see, it paused, so I needed to go back here and share this again. Can you guys see the creating your vision page right now? Okay, figured it out. All right, awesome. So I'm super stoked that you guys want to do this with me. A little like newsflash, I have already created one vision board, but it's not completely finished, and I plan on upgrading it throughout the rest of this month. Like I'm just adding to and taking away and perfecting, because not only do we have this call, but I've got another vision board call with the Daily Grind, yeah, later. So I'm really stoked about that. So, and Jesse, if you're not in on that Facebook group, let me know, because you bought a Daily Grind planner, so you could be in that group. Remind me when we get off of here. I'll add you. Anyway, Courtney, I don't know if you ever bought, I sent you some free stuff, I think, but you never got yours. Let me know when you do too. I'll get you in that group. Anyways, I'm going to share a little bit from the Daily Grind Know Your Worth workbook tonight, because you guys, this thing is just freaking insane. So if you haven't seen it already, it's like a coffee table, super cute book, and I'm loving it so much so that I got the inserts for my planner to write in. I don't want to write in this. It's just too pretty. But there was a few pages that really stuck out to me that I wanted to share with you guys. So I've bookmarked it. We're here on the slide, why vision boards. I think vision boards can be really overrated if you don't do it right. Number one, if you don't put action behind what you're trying to get after, this is just a waste of everyone's time. And waste of trees if you're actually going to print out your vision board stuff. But also, in addition to that, like, just let me read this page to you before I get on my soapbox, because we only have 40 minutes and this thing shuts off. So listen here, if you're one of those people who are like, I've never done a vision board, I don't really care to do a vision board, hear me out. So this is from the Know Your Worth workbook. Knowing your worth for me means fighting for what you want sometimes. It doesn't always have to be about everyone else. Frankly, this is usually why so many people feel stuck and unhappy. A lack of vision for your future and forward movement towards your goals leads to unhappiness almost 100% of the time. Putting yourself first and prioritizing what you want to achieve in this life is the key to unlocking so much more in all the other areas you are trying to thrive in. Never let any person, job, thing, or circumstance ever make you feel unworthy of your dream life. No goal is too big. No goal is impossible. It will take focus. It will take time. It will take hard work. But it will be worth it, because you are worth it. Stay focused. Take your time and put in the hard work to determine exactly what it is that you, not your boss, not your partner, not your kids, not your parents, what you want in this life. It won't be them. It will be you and only you that make it happen. And my gosh, will it be so worth it. This is knowing your worth. It is understanding that you are capable, you are amazing, you are brilliant, you are gorgeous, you are creative, you are loved, you are equipped, you are strong, and you are worth it. So hear me out, dude. Really take the time to sit down and think about what you want, not just during this 40-minute call, but later on. And like I said, keep updating this thing. Don't just let it be something that you're setting goals one time in the year and you're walking away from it, okay? Let's move on. We are going to talk about contrast versus clarity statements. This is something I learned a few years back, and it really helped me own in on my own goals. You guys know, 10 years ago, started my wellness journey, and before I was like, I want to lose 20 pounds. And I would like set that goal, and it would just like sit over my head forever. And it felt like I was never really inching towards it. Maybe I'd lose like 5 pounds, but then I'd gain it back and keep like weebling wobbling, never actually achieve the goal. And the problem was I was focusing, I think, so much on losing the 20 pounds rather than making micro goals and narrowing it down. Like, okay, this month I want to lose 5 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And just focusing on that 5 pounds, not the big goal of 20 pounds. So again, if you're trying to buy a house, let's focus on saving X amount of dollars each month. to achieve that big goal of a down payment. You know what I'm saying? Like really narrow shit down. So we're going to talk about contrast versus clarity, because this really helped me not only in breaking down my goals into smaller bite-sized pieces, but also realizing where was I truly unhappy in life? Because again, when I started setting goals, I had just started a network marketing business. I had a coach hanging above me. I had a team hanging above me. I had all these different ranks and all these different people telling me what I needed to be and how I needed to run my business and all these things, that I lost sight of what I actually wanted in all of that. And I want to make sure that you guys are not doing that. So let's own in on our contrast versus clarity statements. So this is where your pen and paper is going to come in handy. You are going to first list 10 things that you don't like in your life right now. And I'm going to give you some time to do this. So just listen up before you start writing. You're going to take the time to seriously think about the things that you really don't like. Maybe it's the way you feel. Maybe it's the time of day that you're waking up. Maybe it's the amount of time you're spending on social media or watching TV. Maybe it's the food you're eating. Maybe it's the way that you're interacting with your child or not interacting with your child. I don't know what it is, but this is for you to know. And if you are ever willing to share, that's cool, but you do not have to. So I want you to really know this is something between you and you and your notebook. Like, write it out. Let it all be known. I'm going to give you a few minutes. Ready, set, go. What are the things that you don't like in your life right now? All right, I will share mine, and feel free to take a picture of this screen. I do this every year. I haven't done this yet, so I'm doing it with you guys. I'll share mine in case you're like feeling like you're stuck on ideas. Feel free to take a picture of the screen, because again, I want you to work on this later too. My 10, I don't like waking up after Tegan. I don't like not fitting in my clothes. I hate being addicted to caffeine. I don't like feeling broke. I'm not a fan of how much I waste money. I don't like living in an apartment. I don't like craving junk food. I don't like hating my past. I don't like feeling overwhelmed. And I don't like not going out. So some examples if you're feeling stuck. Now we are going to do the fun part. It is your clarity statement, sis. You're going to write the opposite of those 10 contrast statements. For example, if you said, I'm struggling to find clients, the opposite, I find lots of clients with ease and joy. A quick note on affirmations, they don't always work because, pardon my French, motherfuckers don't put action behind their words. You gotta actually do some things to get the ball rolling, okay? So you can't just put this out into the universe and like, here it comes back to you, girlfriend. That's not going to happen that way. And again, if you create an affirmation or a clarity statement that creates conflict inside of you, something that you don't believe in, you're like, I don't believe that about myself. Like if you're sitting here every day, like saying like, I'm fit, and you're like 300 pounds over being fit, you are not going to believe that. Like, you got to say something that you're going to believe. So, again, something I wanted to share from my Know Your Worth book. Where was the part? I thought this was interesting before you guys write your contrast statements or your clarity statements. She talked about lucky girl syndrome, believing in you. Lucky girl syndrome isn't about sitting around and blindly repeating affirmations in hopes that your life eventually gets better. I've honestly never been a huge fan of manifestations that aren't backed with action. I am, however, a huge believer in physics and facts, the law of attraction. Positive thoughts equals positive experiences. Your energy is constantly attracting things that are a vibrational match into your life. The law of cause and effect. What you put out, good or bad, you get back, good or bad. According to the science, every single action we take has a reaction no matter what. Newton's first law. An object will not change its motion unless an external force acts on it. Life won't improve if you don't improve. Things won't get better unless you get better. Current circumstances will always remain the same and not change unless you act on them. Lucky girl syndrome is a way of life. It's a belief system that is based on the energy one puts into the world on a daily basis. Yeah, that's really all I wanted to share from that part. But again, believing in what it is that you're saying so that you actually take action towards that, okay? And it's something I've been telling myself all week as I'm craving sweets at 8 o'clock at night, because for the last 6 months I have been binging in self-pity every night. So like, getting back on this bandwagon of literally telling myself, Brittany, you are a certified personal trainer. You are a health nut. This is not you. Like, you have to believe the shit you're saying. And I do believe that. I know that. I've just forgotten that along the way. But again, creating clarity statements are things that you are going to believe. We're going to take the time right now to do that. And again, like what I was saying, if you're 100 pounds overweight and you wake up every day and say, I'm thin, it feels like a lie. Instead, you can use some verbiage like this. I love knowing that X, Y, Z. It feels good to know that X, Y, Z. More and more I feel X, Y, Z. I am in the process of X, Y, and Z. Like, these are all statements like, I am working towards this if you are not currently there, so it's more believable to your subconscious mind. So we are going to take those 10 statements, the contrast statements we wrote, and we are literally going to write the exact opposite of what we wrote and make it a clarity statement. So for me, for example, let me get back to my notes. I don't like waking up after Tegan. I love how it feels when I wake up before Tegan. That simple. You are literally writing the opposite of what you wrote. Ready, set, go. I will share my clarity statements before we move on, just to give you guys an idea. And again, take a picture of this if you haven't, so you know some examples of writing your clarity statement. I love how it feels waking up before Tegan. Fitting into my clothes feels good. I am in the process of being able to focus without caffeine. It excites me to save money. I have no doubt I will get better spending less. I am in the process of saving for a home. I enjoy foods that fuel my body. I have learned so much from my past. When I'm overwhelmed, I can focus on my breath. It excites me to start going out again. Those are all things that I can say and believe. You see what I'm saying? Like, that is the key, you guys. It's very important. And then I, again, strongly encourage you to take some photos of these slides. These are things that you can just add into your vision. And I'm going to tell you what you're going to do with all of this here at the end. But again, take some photos of this. These are some good examples of additional things that you can be thinking about as you write your vision. I have a really great meditation for vision creation. If you guys want it, I'll drop it in the chat thread when we're done. But I suggest to do that meditation and then start free writing, thinking about all these things. Your job, if you could snap your fingers and this is what your life could look like. What are you doing? How many hours a day are you working? Where are you working? Do you have a team? What are they doing? Do you have a mentor? Are you a master of your craft? Your finances, what is your annual income? Do you get bonuses? How much do you have in savings? The more specific that you get with these things, especially when you're meditating on it, you can really begin to visualize. And if you listen to like any podcast or interviews from super successful people, one of the things they all do is visualize what they wanted their life to look like. Have you ever heard the Jim Carrey story about how he wrote himself a check? You guys, like he wrote himself, I can't remember, I don't want you to quote me. I hate telling a lie. I just won't. But if you go look at some video, he talks about it, that he wrote himself a check. He was living in the backseat of his car. He wrote himself, this shit gives me goosebumps every time. He wrote himself a check for a certain amount of money. And then what was his first big movie? Dumb and Dumb, or Dude, Where's My Car? Whatever that stupid ass movie is that I've never even seen it. But guess how much he got paid? The exact number on that check. And so the more specific you can get, I'm telling you, God delivers. The universe, God, whatever it is that you believe in, you just need to let them know what you need. Your home, what does it look like? Where is it? By the ocean, in the mountains? Is there a guest house, horses, a pool? And again, if you're telling your brain these things, it's going to be trying to figure out a way to make it happen. Never in a million years did I think I was going to be working. And to think that I did this for a decade, working from my fucking phone, you guys. I got to move by the ocean. Like all these girls, I got to pay for them to come vacation there with me. Like, I never thought that I could live a life like that. And what I did back then is something that I don't do no more. And that is spend time on seriously visualizing what I want. I had some crazy ass dreams back then. And all it took was Lance to say, yeah, you could do that. I bet you could do that. And here I was, like a little bit of belief from somebody, and I'm making it happen. So if you don't got somebody rooting for you in your corner, you got to root for you in your corner. Again, take a photo of this so you can get super specific on your vision. What does your family look like? Single, married? I'm sure we all here are in a partnership for the most part. We have children and whatnot, but that's not to say that could change for some folks. It is what it is. What does your relationship look like? Your health and wellness? Are you doing a specific program? How does your body look? How do you show up with your nutrition? Free time and community? Do you have hobbies? Are you volunteering? What it is that you're reading? Let us know. Let yourself know. Add this to your vision. All great things to add. So tonight, what you're going to do is you're going to take your clarity statements, your clarity affirmations. And I strongly encourage you, whether it be a planner that you use every day, or even just, I had done this at one point, a piece of paper tacked on my wall in my bathroom next to my mirror where I was every morning brushing my teeth, or what I done most recently, which was record them as a voice memo on my phone. And when I would go out for my walk every day, I would play them back to myself talking, reading off what my vision would look like. And it was like a 10-minute long voice memo because, again, I got super specific, and this was back before the move. But whatever way it is that you want to do it, the goal is that you are exposing yourself to your clarity statements every day. And if you don't make it a consistent thing, nothing is going to happen. So step 1, writing your contrast statements. Step 2, writing your clarity statements. Step 3, doing a little meditation or a little prayer, focusing on what it is that you really want for your life. Being specific as possible, jotting all that down on paper, and then write yourself a little story. What do you want your life to look like? Matter of fact, do I have it quickly accessible? It doesn't have to be anything like crazy, you guys, but just make it be something that's meaningful to you. You can even write if you feel better to write yourself a letter 1 year from today, do it in that way. That's fine too. Girl, you are well on your way. I'm so proud of you. This past year, you and Lance have kicked ass. Finally saved enough for the wedding and down payment for your first home. I knew you could do it. The wedding is planned for the fall of 2026, Folly Beach. Right now, we're in the process of viewing homes, and there's one I just loved. It comes with chickens and a coop. Can you believe it? Best part, it's in Saline, which is exactly what you wanted, where you wanted to be for Tegan's school. It's got a hot tub and sauna out back, too, for all your self-care needs, and I can't forget the perfect little greenhouse garden. We put in an offer, and I should know soon. I have a good feeling about this. I'm going to finish up. What? I don't even know what I wrote there. Thank goodness you, but anyway, you get my point. I'm literally writing a letter to myself a year from now. So if it feels more natural for you to do it like that and then listen to your letter or read your letter back every day, whatever is clever, just do it in a way that you, again, are going to be consistent with it. The voice memo thing is the way that I like to do it. So I have that recorded on my phone, and I'm glad that I did because I can't even fucking read my own handwriting. So with that, I'm going to gift anybody who has the cojones to go live in the Autism Mom Facebook group or write up a post or take a picture of your vision board, sharing your vision, your clarity statements or affirmations with us. You must submit that by January 5th if you want to get gifted, but you can post it at any time after that just for accountability and community purposes. So after you have written up your vision, you've got it to where you can read it every day or you can listen to it in your headphones every day. I encourage you to take it one step further and make a vision board. I made mine on Canva. It's hanging on my fridge right now. But if you are like a crafty, scrapbooky kind of person, get you some magazines, some scissors, glue, markers, printables, whatever is clever. Like I said, I use Canva. They've got super simple vision board templates. Like all of this stuff that I use on our Zoom calls are all templates. But make a vision board, put it somewhere that you are going to see it. Please don't put it in your closet because that's not going to do anything. You need to visualize. You need to see this every day. Your subconscious mind needs to be reminded of what it is you're working towards so you will take action in your life. Point blank. Focus on how you want to feel. Use a mix of words and images. Keep it personal, meaningful to you. What else I got? Step 3, share your vision. Like I said, I'm gifting those who share by the 5th in the Facebook page. Sharing anytime after that strongly is encouraged because community is where it's at. And I think, like I said, keeping your vision alive, putting it somewhere you'll see it every day. Revisit it monthly. Like I said, you can change your goals. You can change things up if life changes or if your wants change. And progress is more important than perfection, all right? Again, focus on micro goals. Yes, we're writing this big elaborate vision, but again, this is why the Daily Grind Planner is so awesome because it helps you take those big goals, break them down into smaller goals, and then you work towards those 10 small goals every day right here in the Daily Grind Planner. So if you ain't got one yet, grab one. And there was one last thing I wanted to read to you guys from this because I thought it was so powerful. Oh, look at that. Angie just paid me $28. Thank you, Meredith, for your proceeds. I'm sure you were part of that. All right, so, okay. If you're somebody who's like, I don't got the time for this shit, Brittany. Listen, Felicia's, I'm working full-time now. Full-time. I don't want to hear shit. Okay, I'm working full-time. So anyway, and this is going to help you reel that thought back and just listen up. Understanding the true value of your time is knowing your worth. Many of us live our day-to-day lives disrespecting our own time constantly. Over the years, this can compound and get out of control to the point where you don't even feel like you were in the driver's seat of your own life. Are you the type of person that will drive 30 minutes out of your way to save $5 on gas? Are you staying extra late for your boss when you know you want to get to work on your own side hustle? Are you spending your evenings watching endless hours of TV and scrolling on your phone instead of working on your dreams? Are you the type of person that drops everything you're doing when any random request comes in via text or phone call? Feeling like anxiousness, defeat, sadness, anger, overwhelm, and lack of motivation are all linked to how you are spending your time. Creating an unstuck schedule specific to you, your goals, and your emotions can change the game. Another aspect to consider with your time is that we are all different. For years, I felt lesser than because I was a night owl. I still am. I am hyper productive in very late hours. I've come to understand that this is simply how I am wired, and I actually built myself a schedule around it. Understanding the best time to work out, eat, wake up, sleep, and work on your dreams can change your day-to-day productivity and ultimately your life. The next time you think about wasting 30 minutes on trash TV, scrolling socials, or driving out of your way to save a few bucks, instead think about how much that precious time of yours is worth. There is value in your time. The higher that value becomes, the more you can make. Stop discounting your time or yourself because, bestie, you are full price plus tax. So, needless to say, take the time for you. Stop fucking giving your time away to everybody but you. And you know what? I'm guilty of this myself with my family, and I've realized it recently because, when you're a mom, it's almost like you feel like you don't have a choice. No, you've got a choice. You better tell whoever it is in the household to step up for a few seconds because you need 10 minutes to go in the bedroom and write your goals. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is so important that you have somebody in your corner that supports you in that way. And if you don't, you guys, there's people that you can contact for respite help and everything else. Like, reach out to the state. They offer some great resources. So find somebody to help you get some you time because you guys are all worth it. That's all I got. How's everybody been? Not so good? So good?
I have to go back to work tomorrow, so I'm not very excited about that.
Oh, yeah, winter break. How long was that for you?
2 weeks about tomorrow's a work day, which I get to do it at home, but I have to be working tomorrow, so and then the kids come back on Monday.
Well, hang in
Yeah.
there. I literally don't know how you do that job. I don't.
Um, the top thing on my list of things I don't like about my life is my job.
That is
So,
so heartbreaking. And it's like
um,
that for so many teachers. It's so sad.
it's the current state of things. I didn't feel like this about my job when I started. It's just since COVID, the state of education has just plummeted. So yeah, trying to determine alternate sources of income so that I can quit my job because I'll end up in jail.
Yeah, no kidding. But for real though, like I see all these moms on TikTok or teachers on TikTok, and it's like it was just more validating when I pulled Tegan out of school. I was like, that's not even a place for him to be. That is so stupid of me for what? Like, if I can make it work at home, I'm going to make it work at home. Jesus, it's so sad, isn't it? I mean, at least you're hearing it firsthand if you're considering homeschooling. And at least you're a teacher. Like, you can, like, you can teach him everything. You ain't even got
Oh,
to.
listen, I teach 15-year-olds, so I don't know boo diddly about trying to teach like a 5-year-old how to read. So I will say this, Henry, we had an ETR for Henry. He got reevaluated for an IEP like right before winter break, and he did qualify for services. His school is amazing. His teachers are fantastic. So I have not had any issues there. It's honestly dealing with these entitled teenagers and they're entitled parents, which is like, no wonder you act like this because look at your adult that's teaching you how to function. So,
Right.
um, yeah, so far, anyways, I have been happy with our school experience, which I know is a huge blessing because I know that's not the case everywhere because lots of places are underfinanced and then understaffed. And then things like what you dealt with, Britt, happen because nobody knows what they're doing. Like the preschool in the district where I work in, the kindergarten teachers hate it because it's like what you experience. Like the teachers have no clue what they're doing.
It's bad. Whenever I heard that the special needs lady threatened the police on Tegan, I was like, my child was trying to elope, and she said, if you go out that door, I'm gonna have to call the cops. I was like, what? He's coming home. Fuck that. Y'all got me fucked up. I'm gonna kill you. I'm literally gonna kill you. And one of my childhood teachers, the reason why I chose my school was because one of my teachers was the behavioral interventionist at that school, and I really adored this teacher. She's the reason why I love writing, and like I love her. Okay, she was a part of all that. Like my mind is just blown. Like, yeah, maybe you're great with like typical kids or kids that can are high masking, but when a child seriously has a problem, you ain't getting it. So just not for me, bro. Nope. Tegan finally starts ABA again on the 13th. So excited about that. But you know, the fear of like not knowing if the therapist is good or not, like that's scary. But we'll get through it. Even if she sucks, I'll kick her out and get another one. So we'll see.
And so for Wesley, it's like this is like the last redemption shot. Like if they don't get it together by our next art in February, I'm gonna feel like I don't have a choice because I can't keep him in there if they're not gonna give him what he needs. And he's yeah, and the thing is that really got me mad is that in November he was in there with two subs, and I have a TEA complaint filed and in abatement until like we figured out the whole sub situation because they keep telling me like, ah, there's somebody coming, and this one day they did not notify me that he was going to be in there with two subs. And I've had conferences with the principal who knew that's not acceptable to me. And that is the very day that there was an incident report filed because Wesley bit the sub who tried to physically restrain him to make him sit during circle time when I've conversed with the teacher and the various aides they've thrown in that room that that's not a hill we bleed on with Wesley. If he's walking around and not disrupting others, he is allowed to do
Yeah.
that. And he is often listening and paying attention and gathering information, even if visually it does not look
Yeah.
like and
Right.
so people who know my child and have talked to me know that. That's why he's not supposed to be in a room without somebody who knows him and has talked to me and knows his IEP and his behavior situation. And the school has also, in all our IEP meetings, declined to give him the behavior intervention because they keep telling me he doesn't really have any problem behaviors. But they're also telling me they can never get him to the gen ed class because of various behaviors. They're just not extreme behaviors. So I'm like, okay, so I actually have a like an aunt in-law type situation who has been in special education for like 30 years. And she called me up the other day and was like, "Look, your Uncle Mark told me everything that's going on right now because like my dad talked to him or whatever." And she's like, "Let's work this out." And she kind of helped me come in to my last IEP with a game plan, and I did get them to agree to do a behavior intervention plan, or well, I guess a functional behavior assessment to
Yeah.
determine if you're eligible for the behavior plan.
Right.
Then they're also doing all the paperwork and gathering evidence to see if he's
The
eligible.
hoop jumping with the FBA,
That's what we
we I have never had to deal with that before as a high school teacher with my students, and all of a sudden they're making us jump through this hoop for all these kids that I'm like, listen, they're in my classroom every day. I know exactly what the problem is. I know exactly what they need. We just need to get them the correct services. And they're like, well, we have to have an FBA first. I'm like,
I
why?
don't really think it has to be that complicated. All the people who know him are in the room right now for this IEP meeting. Why can we not just figure we got all these ideas, but we can't implement any of them until we jump through the hoops. So that's why I have to wait this next month to let them do all the evidence gathering and potentially do the assessment. All of that stuff needs to happen. Then we can decide if, and what the plan would be. But yeah,
Honestly, dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, pulling him out of school was not only the best thing for him, but for me. Because I know how you feel right now. I'm feeling my anxiety kick into gear like it used to. I have had so much less anxiety that I'm coming off the medicine already. I got put on it in October. I'm coming off that shit. My anxiety was the school. That was my
yeah.
fucking. I mean, I
But
have
right now, my main
anxiety.
problem is that I have had the break. Like he hasn't been to school since Thanksgiving break, so I've had this like couple of months to really
Yeah, see how he
experience
is.
what that's going to be like with Raylan.
It's a lot, I'm sure.
She is going through some shit right now, y'all. Okay, so she had a doctor's appointment. There's some red flags. which I knew, but she is a very different child than Wesley. She's developing very well. She's, got a lot of speech and interaction, but she doesn't do a lot of eye contact. She's, short in a couple other areas. She is explosive. I am so dysregulated from the last 2 months that I do not even know how. I'm like, and then when they're both asking me for things or they're fighting each
Yeah.
other, I am absolutely losing my mind without sending him to school right now.
Oh, that's why I can't have another one. Keep telling me.
Dude, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer because I swear to God, when they're hugging and they're cuddling and they're giving kisses, oh, my heart could melt. But that is only about 10% of the time right now since her developmental shift that is happening. She has entered the terrible twos. They have entered the chat with a vengeance. I don't know what I'm going to do. I honestly don't. Because he wasn't like this. He might give me a couple nosebleeds here and there, but
Yeah.
he wasn't like this. This girl, toddler energy, I'm not liking it. So
We'll
that's
send
my
prayers your way, girl. Hang in
It's fine.
there,
We're
Jess.
fine. We're fine.
What's going on with Jacob? Oh shit, we got less than a minute. This ain't enough time. I want to know from everybody else what's going on with their kids. Let me know in the chat. I haven't heard from you, Courtney and Lisa. I haven't heard from you guys in forever, so I need to hear from you guys. We have less than a minute, so shoot me a text. I seriously want to know. I can't fucking get my left hand to do that, but there you go. Love, peace, chicken grease. See y'all soon.
Own your planner group.
Yes,
No,
I'll send
grind.
a group. There's something else. The meditation. I'm gonna send it all right now because I will forget. Meditation.